Howdy, everyone. My name's Nicholas, and welcome to the Headliner PodPod. We're a show about podcasts featuring podcasts by podcasters that's hosted by people who help podcasters with their podcasting. On each episode, a few of us folks over at Headliner sit down to play a game that centers around listening to randomly selected clips from over 500 show submissions we've gotten from podcasters. Why? Well, in order to find what we call Pod Zero. Here are the rules. Each lucky contestant will hear a 60-second podcast clip. They'll then need to pick the correct podcast title from a lineup of 3 choices before being shown the artwork for that show. Before we get this show on the road, though, let's say hi to each of our contestants for today. And there are a lot of them. There are so many more than usual, so let's do it. Starting with Prateek.
Hey, everyone.
Next up, we have Kristy.
Let's go.
And we have Jesse.
Good evening.
Transylvanian of you. So there you have it. There's our super long list. Hopefully you've stuck with us through it. And of course, we have Alyssa as our producer.
Hello.
Howdy. So, Alyssa, do you have any updates for us that you want to share before we get this super exciting game on the road?
A short one, but it's exciting. At least I'm excited for it. Okay, so Eddie got an awesome update this week. Eddie's podcast promo pack got beautified. It's still the same promo pack you know and love. You can still get the AI-generated show notes, keywords, episode art, blog copy, and so much more. But now, instead of downloading a zip file, it lives in its own very pretty UI. To see the update in action, visit eddie.headliner.app, create a project, and click on the little heady icon in the bottom right-hand corner.
Cool. We all love UIs here, right, everybody? I want class participation this week because there's not enough people here. Please. Cool.
UI is the best.
I feel like Max would be saying something
I
rather
need
insightful
Max
at this point.
I need Max's insight into this because otherwise it really sounds like I'm making you guys say this at gunpoint. But anyway, I'm not. For the record, we have videotape proof of this. What you see in my hand is a paperweight. Let's just dive into the game, shall we? Before I talk my ear off. Let's start with Prateek. How are you feeling today for this?
Ready to win.
Great. That's the spirit.
All right, what do I use over here? Let's
An
do it.
envelope. Lovely.
Got a little Oscars envelope with him.
We were trying to create a college prep environment in a city where very few people go to college. Yeah, some big challenges there in operating a school. And I remember I got a memo from the state, and forgive me because I don't remember the specifics, but it said something like, all of your students should have computer science training by 2024 or something like that. And I remember thinking, I know, I wish I could give them that. And I don't have good enough internet to give them that. And there's so many other things that I am juggling at this moment. And I remember thinking, I bet what's motivating this is that employers in the state really need people with better computer science skills, and that there's an economic driver here. But schools are really alone in trying to navigate the changing technologies and skills and demands of the workplace and all of the other social challenges that really collide in a school building. And I remember thinking, the private sector should be helping out here. Where are they in all of this? And
All right. There we have it, Prateek. So
That's a good clip. I think
Yeah, it
that's
was.
pretty informative there. Yep.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one.
Yep.
Here are options for today. Number 1, full steam ahead, making the most of your college experience. Number 2, the Higher Ed Geek. And number 3, beyond the classroom.
I don't think it's number 1 because I don't think they talk about college kids. What was the third one again?
Beyond the classroom.
Well, let's go with that. Beyond the classroom.
Okay, beyond the classroom is incorrect. It was actually the Higher Ed Geek.
Ah,
Although I think I would have picked that one too, so I don't blame you. That added
Next
up
week.
for me too. Also, I really enjoy their artwork for this. Just a nice, simple image of a person with glasses. Well, not even a person, just a pair of glasses and eyebrows with the text for the show. It's very clean, very neat. I really like the font they're using, and I wish Max was here so that he could tell me what it is.
and I think they have like books or something in the background with an overlay.
Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah.
library background.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's neat.
Nice.
Could
Yeah.
also be a VHS collection. Who knows?
That's
No,
true.
no. It is not a VHS collection, Jesse. As the resident person who still uses the format, I can tell you as much. So yeah, very cool stuff all around. And here's a bit about the episode. This was episode 220, Navigating the Apprenticeship Revolution, A New Path for Higher Ed. And our show description is, this show will be exploring all the nuances of higher education with a focus on innovative technology and practices from professionals all across the country. Hosted by Dustin Ramsdell. So, very cool stuff. Yeah, I'm actually just such a sucker for this artwork. Anyway, it looks like we have a new challenger this week who joined the call partway in.
What everybody? Woo!
Notice the energy just changed. Earlier, it was like I was begging you guys to have enthusiasm, and Oliver just put you all to shame in seconds.
Shame, shame, shame. I know your name. Let's go.
What
Incredible.
is happening?
It's like
He's-
it hijacked again.
Yeah.
Bombed.
This is the modern version of Zoom bombing, isn't it?
Wearing all my clothes.
Thank you for letting the audio only people know that. On that note, Oliver, would you like to go next? Just to show them how it's done.
Indubitably.
Excellent.
I have to feel like I'm learning something when I'm watching a movie or a program. So, and that's why I've made documentaries. I've made, like a 40-minute documentary, super low budget. So I did something as a volunteer thing for a friend, and another little piece on the, on the clock tower here. Yeah. I just love documentary, and pretty much everything I do with my clients is all short form documentary work. That's really all modern marketing is, really storytelling and telling people stories, and how can this product or service benefit the real world? So that's for me why I went down the corporate route, because I just much prefer documentary style, and that's a great way to flex that. Yeah. But, I'm just not as big of a fan of working on, it was never my dream really to work on Marvel or I didn't like big drooling over those types of movies or big Hollywood. And so I learned quickly.
All right. There's our clip. And here are your options for today, Oliver. Number 1,
Yep.
off the cuff. Number 2, media obscura. And number 3, 2 dudes and a mic.
Before we get into that, I'd like to do an accent check on this guy. I'm thinking we're talking a progressive Southern guy, probably somewhere north of Birmingham, south of Lexington, Kentucky, in that band right there. He's at least 300 miles from any major body of water, but he likes documentaries, and he doesn't love... I don't think he loves hush puppies. I don't think he does.
They're too filling. I get it.
I thought Kristy was about to be like, can we get a tape measure to check that body of water comment?
Tape measurer.
Yes, a very long tape measure. Sorry. So
It's
sorry.
industrial.
Yeah.
Continental, in fact.
I just want to add one thing to everyone here. When I said body of water, I am not including crawfish farms or shrimp farms in that statement.
Noted.
What about the Mississippi?
Incredible.
The Mississippi is a river.
Yeah.
Major
Yeah,
body
it
of
is.
water.
Is it a body or a flowing serpent? I
Like
don't know.
an arm of water, a leg of water,
Yeah, is it a leg of water?
intestine of
Just-
water.
That's my mistake. I'm sorry.
That's what they call the Mississippi, right, Jesse? Like the small
Yeah, that's what we
intestine of
call it.
America.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
All the
whether or not
business
it's
goes.
Chicago's, I'm not going to say it. Let's go. There's off the cuff. There's obscura.
Yep. Media
I'm going to have
obscura.
to go obscura because I think that word is very popular in the band that I'm talking about.
Hmm.
So let's go obscura for 100. I already know I'm wrong based on the twinkle in Alyssa's eye. Read it to me.
I don't think
Nicholas.
it's my eye that's twinkling.
No, it's yeah, maybe not. Anyway, media obscura is incorrect, Oliver. So
I
sorry.
knew it.
It was off the cuff.
No.
And no, you actually ended up inadvertently name checking my podcast because I slotted it in there this week. So, boom, bamboozled.
Humble plug.
Yes, very humble plug. I said it when I told you I was doing this, Alyssa. I'm not vain enough to just plug myself. So,
But I am.
thank you for that. Anyway, the correct answer was off the cuff, and this was from episode 26, Two Film Nerds a Nerdin.
Jeez Louise.
And which is great. I love that. Two film nerds a nerdin. And here's our description. In our first original podcast, we explore the diversity of the human experience through unscripted and natural conversations. We're not limited to any specific topic or theme, so every episode is a unique and exciting journey. Join us as we take our conversations outside the studio to new and exciting locations, from the tranquility of a forest clearing to the hustle and bustle of a vibrant coffee shop. Our guests come from all walks of life, with a wide range of passions, interests, and experiences to share. From artists to entrepreneurs, athletes to scientists, and everything in between, we're here to shine a light on the amazing diversity of human beings and the richness of their lives. We believe that everyone has a story to tell, and we're excited to hear them all. So, grab your favorite beverage, pull up a seat, and join us for the next episode of Organic Conversations. I think we made a mistake here, Alyssa, unless we're using an old RSS feed.
I was gonna say, I feel like this podcast
feel like it
clip is
wasn't-
related to the word organic and conversations, but that wasn't an option. So I just chose the one that I thought felt natural when you said it, Nicholas, which now makes sense because it was your podcast.
Good save. Let's see. I'm actually looking for the
There's
podcast
this.
now.
It's okay. No,
Is it okay? I don't know anymore.
there was several off the cuffs, but I confirmed because it's there is a specific. I don't think I'm wrong, to be quite honest.
Classic.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
had
enough.
to
I am
be able to
seeing
Sticking
look
to my
several.
convictions. I'm looking at the episode art off the cuff by Hind Light Media. In our first original podcast, we'd explore the diversity.
We
Okay.
did it.
There we go. It's a rebranded podcast for all we know. Also, I mean, it does have like a very nature-oriented piece of artwork. So, totally possible.
They're all very different podcasts. Like A Human Trap Set by a Mouse is the next podcast title.
Gotcha.
So like they're not. It's different. But I don't
There
know.
you go.
Upset by a mouse. My God.
They're evolving.
It's like the Nutcracker.
The house was the mousetrap all along. Okay. On that enchanting note, let's go over to Jesse for our next round, shall we?
I'm ready.
Nicholas, I'm sorry to interrupt. Permission to eat during Jesse's round.
Oh, by all means. Go
Can I
nuts.
mute myself or
Yeah, let's
Don't, no.
Prateek's
I'm
just
gonna
like,
have
no,
to
let him
style.
talk.
I might join him.
I'll be eating just a bar. That's all.
It would have been really
was-
perfect if
oh.
Kristy had pulled out a hush puppy following his earlier comment about them.
All right, I'm gonna share the clip now.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go on mute. This is delicious.
And it just goes so far because when all else fails, we still enjoy hanging around with each other, you know.
That's
what I mean?
it. That's it.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys found each other. That's wonderful.
Joe was so quiet back in the day in Gypsy Blue. He never said words. So I never knew him at all. Like I didn't know him. So I did know him like from way back then, but didn't know much about him.
Sure, yeah.
But went to see him that night and that was it. Like we just met up and it just like we just kind of got together right away.
Fantastic.
So like
And how did the music come out of this?
I got kind of burnt out
Yeah.
playing because we were gigging. And by the time this was straight just covers, couple of different bands doing the same stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I settled down, and then she was wanting me to do stuff by myself. I can't sing. I don't want to sing, so we just
Right.
What you got? Can you sing anything? Can you do something?
Yeah, there you
so-
go.
yeah.
All right. There was our clip. And here are your options, Jesse.
All right.
615 for life, 561 music, and folk yeah, music and more.
What was the second one? One more time, please.
561 music, 561.
All right. So 615 is the Mississippi phone area code.
Is that true?
Yes.
It's Nashville.
It's Nashville's. Oh yeah, we're 662. Never mind.
I was like,
All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest here. I really like folk, yeah. I think I'm getting some music vibes about the podcast. They're talking about musicians, talking about gigs, doing covers and stuff like that. They sound like folk singers. And so I think I'm gonna go number 3.
Okay. Folk, yeah, music and more is incorrect. It was actually 561 music, so sorry. But you are right in the sense that the episode title was episode 149, Folk, yeah, with the Hoochie Digs.
Hoochie Digs.
Yeah. So here's a little bit about this show. 561 Music is hosted by Ben Childs and Hector Diaz of Killbillies. Listen every week as 561 Music hosts a different artist and or local venue owner, helping spread the word on the local music scene. Each episode will contain guest interviews, gear reviews, live performances, and show recommendations to not miss that week. So, there you have it.
561 also appears to be the area code of southeastern Florida, near the cities of Boca Raton.
I'm assuming you Googled that because otherwise I have to imagine you just have like an old phone book open somewhere.
Well, since that I missed not only my current area code and the area code of the city I live in now, indeed I do not.
Okay.
I did Google it.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't preclude you from it. It could be like a Slumdog Millionaire situation where the numbers 561 trigger a memory of Florida or something. Kristy, how would you like to go next? You don't really have an option. You're the only one who hasn't gone yet, but you're on mute, but I'm taking that as just baited enthusiasm. Yeah, he's covering his eyes. That works.
And it was an event. It wasn't just mad chaos, ripping, tearing, everybody's opening. What'd you get? Throw, and in 10 minutes it's all over. And we were blessed and fortunate enough to have good Christmases growing up. And so with Cheryl and I got married, we had our children, we instituted that kind of the same principle. You're not getting up at the crack of dawn, ripping open boxes and, whatever. There's going to be a method to what we do. There were times when Christmas was not as commercial as people maybe would think it should have been. And by that, I mean the situation that didn't allow us to buy a lot of stuff.
Okay, there was our clip. And just for some bonus trivia, Coca-Cola created the image of Santa Claus we all know to this day back in like the 50s. So there you go. Little factoid
Thanks,
for y'all.
Coke.
That's why he's red and white.
Okay.
Yeah. So here are your options for today, Kristy. Number 1 is Too Well with R Rap. Number 2, Changing the Narrative with Cecil Grant Jr. And number 3, Ho Ho Humbug with Dwayne Carter Jr.
It's not the third one. I'm going to lock in number 2.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Changing the Narrative with Cecil Grant Jr. is correct, sir.
Yes! Let's go!
Yeah, you are right. And it was not, in fact, the third one with Lil Wayne there.
Yep. I was like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. On the off chance that you didn't pick up on that, I was biting my tongue pretty hard. So I am in excruciating pain right now. And our
It was
episode.
clever. It was very, very clever. Didn't you do Dwayne Carter Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Renee Rapp is also in that one as well.
Yep,
Very
that
good.
was our rap beginning.
I was like, you get me with those names, but now I know like the secret is like usually some kind of music thing. So I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't go
Much
that
like-
obscure with that.
Like Eddie's AI, we're learning.
We are learning.
Oh no. Like I said earlier, the house was the rat trap all along. It's a real Home Alone situation. So the episode this was from was Merry Christmas, everyone, question mark, exclamation mark, which is, I consider that very menacing, just a little bit. It's more of a question than a statement, but it's still very assertive, and that scares me. So here's our description for the episode. or the show, pardon me. We hope to shed light on a variety of topics with a new lens with deeper analysis and pointed questions that cause you to think about things differently. We're not here to change your mind. We want you to think for yourself. Enjoy the journey. Very cool. And I'm assuming that the cover art over here is a picture of Cecil Grant Jr., the host of the show. So, neat. Jumping on over. So we have time for one more clip. Let's just put all of you on a team as usual. You know, fight it out. Raise your dukes, whatever the saying is in old-timey boxing. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse, for actually lifting his dukes. Or putting up his dukes. That's the saying. You can now cover your eyes with your dukes.
How I got into yoga was for a few reasons, but by the time I was 18, I just noticed that my body was starting to tighten up a lot, and I could barely bend forward. And so the natural conclusion was I should stretch. And what great way to do that than through a quote unquote yoga practice. So that's how I got into yoga.
Is it funny to you now at the age, because I think you're about my age, maybe a little bit older than me, and thinking about, you know, your body at 18 and thinking that your body felt tight at age 18.
Yeah,
Well,
I was very self-conscious at that age. Like for me, the idea of staying young, staying healthy, and for me, those kind of definitions meant mobile. And so when you look at old people who look old, what is the typical thing we observe? We observe immobility. We observe a lack of range of motion, tightness.
And there was our clip. Here are your options for today. Number 1, Run for the Hills Pod with Tate McRae. Number 2, Sports Will Save Us All. Number 3, Inner Peace with Sasha Graham.
I think it's the second one again.
The sports will save us all.
Yeah, because it's about like he was talking about like being healthy and like about obviously they're talking about like stretching and stuff like that. Like, you know, immobility in old people is a sign of like being old. So like sports would save us all. I'm saying like that makes sense what they're talking about, like movement and exercise, and it's usually to do with the sport.
Okay.
Reasonable logic to me.
I don't know if we should go just me. I'm
with
very
Kristy.
good at
I'm with
this
Kristy
game.
on this one.
So Kristy, what's your second choice? What would be your second choice?
There's something about it would be number 3. There's something I don't recognize the name. I feel like I recognize the first name, but not the second name.
I see.
I'm gonna lock in.
Graham.
Can we pick? Do we have to all pick the same one?
Well, that's kind of how
to
team
agree?
things work usually.
Yeah, this is 12. This is 12 Angry Men.
What is your pick, Jesse?
I don't know. Since Kristy's last pick was number 1, I kind of want to take it.
I picked 2 for mine.
Yeah, you picked 2 as your first one, and your last pick you said was like you think it's least likely to be 1. So I'm just going to take the opposite of Kristy.
Okay,
surely one of us will be right.
One angry guy.
I will not convict.
Okay. Well, I guess Jesse is just seceded from the team or something. I don't know.
I'm on Kristy team, so team Kristy.
Oliver, you're being awfully quiet. I feel like your bar's got to be done by now.
I've been yelling. I didn't realize my mic was. I'm going with Jesse. There's seceding from the nation of Garrett.
Split world here.
We are going for one because I saw something y'all didn't see, and when Kristy chose his choice, there was a twinkle in Alyssa's eye.
Talking about dang old twinkle, man.
Twinkle test positive. We
Twinkle
don't
test positive.
Again.
Oh my God. All right.
Okay.
Well, on that note,
it's number 2, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is in fact number
Jesse.
2.
Nice.
All right, baby.
Let's
go.
I do not know who Tate McRae is. That's really upsetting.
I was like, Tate McRae, that's like the name.
Yeah.
I didn't know who
sometimes...
it was. I just was like, all right, I'm assuming it's a music thing.
Yeah, it's country, right?
No.
Okay.
Who's Tate McRae? Why do I know that name?
I'm Googling this person right now.
She's
None of us
I don't
know
even
who
know
this
how to
is.
describe her other than perfect and amazing.
A Canadian
Oh,
singer,
boy.
songwriter, and dancer. There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I was right. Power's going to my head. It's official.
Oh, it's like Justin Bieber.
Yeah. In the sense that she's Canadian.
And
Yes.
Drake. I think Drake's
And Shania Twain. She's
Yes.
Canadian.
Yes, Shania Twain and Drake also come from the land of Canada. Not a musician, but Michael J. Fox also. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
I thought you were about to say that after Drake.
Yeah.
Isn't Drake Canadian?
Yes.
Yeah, but is he
That's
a
what I thought.
musician? I don't know.
Oh,
Ah,
no, I
that's
was
good.
not gonna throw salt at him like that.
I don't know.
Dance Drake that's questionable, but Drake, that's different.
Gotcha. On that note, this clip comes to y'all from episode 78, From Hot Nude Yoga to Himalayan Healing, a journey with Yogi Aaron on yoga, resilience, and life's unexpected twists. So there you go. Nice descriptive title, but every time someone describes themselves as a yogi and then they mention that they're talking about yoga, I'm always kind of like, yeah, you said that already, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just a bit. Yes,
Think of the
I'm.
bear myself.
Life's
Doc-
unexpected twist, though, that's clever.
That was clever. I like that. That's some good wordplay. That should have been the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
I meant one of your options, Alyssa.
Yeah, I'll do better. My bad.
Anyway, here's our show description. No matter where you are in the world, you can find people playing, watching, or talking about sports. In fact, if there were ever a universal language, sports would be it. But what if it's even more than that? What if the experiences we have winning, losing, or even just watching the game are keys to just about everything? Welcome to Sports Will Save Us All. I'm your host, Sasha Graham. I'm an athlete and author, and through a lifetime of loving sports, I've come to understand the special role they play in so many of our lives. This podcast will explore the value and magic of sports in all its forms and take a look at the things that make sports such an incredible and unifying part of our lives. We'll go deep into athletes, fans, coaches, and spectators to bring you passionate opinions, life experiences, and athletic anecdotes. From underdog stories to championship seasons, we'll raise some questions, find some answers, kick the ball around, and have a whole lot of fun. So join me on the playing field and let's have a ball, because sports will save us all. So there you have it. Lots of fun sports wordplay there. So more power to them, and just a really nice, simple cover art for it. Just the words over a nice, clean gradient. Neat. On that note, it appears we have exhausted our reserve of clips for the day, and I thank all of y'all for playing. I thank everyone for listening who made it this far past everything that happened today. Today was a bit unhinged, if I do say so myself. And yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.